Chapter 2. Settlement. Not long after, an army of skeletons would raid his settlement who were sent by the Skeleton King. And it tempted Haza for him to return to his people, but he stayed and defended his land, determined to stay. After that night, Haza explored near his settlement further away, and to the west he found villages, and they were filled with villagers, and another was abandoned and pillaged. Haza later met the leader of a nation who owned that pillaged village, and his name was Itz. Haza began to mine and become rich. Then he was requested to meet up with Itz and another nation leader who went by the name Audiobook, who was the leader of the nation called Azarkan. They three met up and became allies, despite Haza being a person who lived alone in an isolated settlement in the woods. Haza later on found a pink sheep and put it among his animals at his settlement in the Pin. Then Haza later received news that a skeleton army was laying an attack on the capital city of Eknov in Azarkan. Haza made haste to the southeast to Eknov and assisted in fending off the city. They succeeded in fending off the city, and it was the first battle that Haza ever fought in. Some others who assisted in the fight blamed Alyup for the attack and declared war on him and on the city. Thankfully, the situation later cooled down with no war taking place. Alyup then suggested to Haza to form the Treaty of Haza, so that any nation who signed it would be assisted by the other nation who also signed the treaty. Itz, Alyup, and Haza all signed the treaty, despite Haza not being from any nation. After signing the treaty, Haza made haste and began construction of a stone wall to encompass his settlement to fend off any potential future attack. A man named Nuke declared war on Azarkan and told Alyup that if he could pay a certain amount of money, then he would call off the war. However, Alyup himself didn't have the money. When Haza caught wind of this, he himself went and paid Nuke for Alyup since Haza was rich, and Nuke called off the war. Not long after, Haza found a cat and adopted him, and named him Menachem. Then Haza met an unknown goddess who liked to mess around with Haza in his own settlement on occasion. Then it was that around that time or beforehand, when Redfire Rex formed the kingdom of Bombay, he found a temple and made it his palace, and he at this point was the only one to wield a jungle blade and wore a purple amethyst crown upon his head, which was gifted to him by a god who demanded for no one to chop down any trees in his domain. Haza visited Rex far south on another continent in Bombay and formed a friendship with him,